Two Utah homeowners are devastated after their homes slid off a cliff following a landslide.
This new home collapsed here in Utah. Whose fault was it? The builders? The weather? The homeowners? Well, when it comes down to it, it's just not that simple. Let's break down this horror story. Well, the first thing is the home's built on a cliff. And when a home's built on a cliff, it's the engineer's responsibility to know if that location can support a home to be built there. There are many homes out there that are on cliffs. So how do you figure out which ones on a cliff are going to fall and which ones aren't? I've seen many sellers go in and they install what is called helical piers. What they do is they install these piers in the ground, deep into the ground, probably about 20 feet or more, and they help support the foundation of the house. That is one way that they have a solution to be able to keep a home from sliding off a hill when it's built on a cliff. So what about that home on the cliff? Very likely the only thing that could have been done is not helical piers to hold it up, because now you're going to have fighting between the engineer and the developer of who was the person that messed up. But it probably just shouldn't have been built there in the first place. There are other things that can go wrong when not picking the right builder. Not just the construction or falling off a cliff, but it could be devastating consequences to your finances. I know of a buyer recently that contracted with a builder to build their home. The next thing you know is this buyer ended up seeing liens started to place up on top of the house of what they had already agreed to pay for. The builder went bankrupt, leaving the homeowner with an expensive home with bills that the builder didn't pay, even though the homeowner had already paid them. You want to be sure that you are working with an experienced builder that has built many homes and is in a financially stable position. There are some builders that if the foundation was poured wrong, they'll tear it all up and they'll redo it again. That's a great sign that you have a great builder that's willing to do whatever it takes to make sure your home is built perfect. Look at the reviews, talk to some neighbors, maybe even have your realtor be me. In this case, it's going to be the homeowner's fault for picking the wrong builder. However, the home builder could have seen this coming and communicated it to the homeowner. One great way to know if a builder is good at communicating is if that builder doesn't cut out your agent in the communication process. When you're building a home, it's natural for there to be a lot of mistakes in the house. And that's okay, because the superintendent usually is going to fix those mistakes. However, sometimes that superintendent doesn't catch them. That's why it's important to be involved in the entire process. Probably should be checking in on the home every other week. And if you're me, I'm checking in on it almost every week. When it comes to the home that was built on a cliff, communication couldn't have solved that. So this could be the cliff's fault. If it's one thing Utahns are good at, it is being prepared for emergencies. What are good practices if a disaster strikes? The first thing that every home should have is a 72-hour kit. But no 72-hour kit would have saved these guys from this disaster. Luckily, in this home that fell off the cliff, they were able to move out of the house before any of that happened. Be sure to prepare based upon whatever your situation is. Generators most likely are not going to help you have electricity if your house has fallen off a cliff. All in all, I can't say who's exactly at fault in this situation. Now you know how you can avoid any of this happening to you. But none of that matters if you can't get into a home. Click or tap the video on the screen where I go over 4 ways that you can get a lower monthly mortgage payment buying a home in 2023.